Well, once again, here we are with the Life is All About Relationship Questions and Answers. And I got 3 questions from you guys, but I always like to start off with a little information. Since one of the questions has to pertain to God, I figured let me start off with this. We are all in some relationship. We're all in a relationship with either the people that are in our immediate family, those who are neighbors to us, our kids, our sisters, our brothers, our parents. It is all relationships based on some type of connection, need to be birth or need to be location or need to be through business. You know, we have these connections. I know so often when you hear these type of setup, these type of platforms where they say life is all about relationships, so often our mind just jumps to a more intimate relationship, husband and wife, that type of a situation, boyfriend and girlfriend. The catch is that relationships are a huge part of what shapes us. As I tell you time and time again, who we are is based on the relationships that we have. How we see ourselves is based on the relationships that we have. But understand that all the relationships that we have, every single person that we know, all comes with a limited amount of information. Every single person that you know, including yourself, we only have a limited amount of information. And depending on how we grew up and the impressions that we took from things that have happened or what we heard and we believed to be true, you know, that's how we shaped ourselves, and that's how other people have shaped themselves. Like I use my line is, we only know what we know, and what we know isn't everything there is to know. Well, one of the key relationships for those who believe in a higher power, is your relationship with God. And when I say your relationship with Him, imagine having access to something, some power source, some source of energy that has the answers to all of life's typical questions. All of life typical questions. Like, it doesn't talk about, is there aliens out there in space and stuff, but life's typical questions. So if you seek that higher power and you understand that is a relationship, a relationship that's more dynamic than any other relationship that you have, because your higher power has a fuller scope, has a wider scope of life around you. He will tell you how to see yourself, how to carry yourself, how to deal with people, how to go through situations when you're having a hard time. It has steps that you can take on how to bring someone back to seeing things in a better way, how to share your heart, what is actual love. See, this higher power relationship, it should be your apex relationship. It is the one that allows you to see so much more than what you grew up believing and seeing as true and not true. See, when we have a desire to have a relationship with someone, you're entering into that. Remember when I did that diagram for those? Oh, let me see if I actually still have it here. Remember when I gave this diagram last week for those who did the 5-day fallback in love challenge? Up in here is the information, the stuff that we know the stuff that we know is up in this section. Down in this section here is the stuff that we know that we do not know. So the stuff that we know, the stuff that we know that we do not know, and then in this section here is all the things in the world that exist that you have absolutely no clue about. So when you have that desire to take on a relationship, you're entering into that realm of a lot of unknown, because the person that you're connecting with, the person that you're dealing with, the person that you were raised with, the person that you are raising, we all have limited amount of understanding. We have limited amount of scope. We have a limited amount of know-how. So when we enter into this relationship, we have to understand that the person that we're talking to, the person that we're dealing with, also has information that's a part of the stuff that we know that we don't know, and the stuff that exists that we have no clue about. So when you enter into these relationships, to take on new adventures, to take on new perspectives, to take on the opportunity to impart the things that you have on the inside and share it with the other person, as well as setting yourself up to receive information and things from people. See, so often when we're thinking about love, we are almost always thinking about what we're going to get out of it. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing that you get to express your love. But so often when we think about love is, what is the person bringing to our lives? What are they bringing to our lives that's going to help shape the way that we see them? Like, how do we get our head on straight when it comes to when we start to deal with someone and we want to connect and we want to be a part of their lives? How do we get our minds ready to get to the place where we're interacting with people, but also coming with the understanding that we don't know everything, and they might have information that can turn certain situations in our lives around. You know, remember when we talk about when you're pursuing a relationship, need it be business, need it be a more intimate relationship, you're trying to set up an environment where communication is the key, where communication will allow you to see the things that you don't see, to let another person in so near, even in coworkers, that they could reveal the stuff that you might not be seeing. I know each and every one of us, especially when we're in our late 20s, early 30s, we're of the mindset that we have a really good grasp on the way life is. We believe that we have a very good grasp on how situations are, what particular things mean. But in truth, it's just the age. You haven't lived long enough to really grasp all the dynamic details that go into connecting with people, living, loving, serving. Like, we have to remember that those things that we shape, that we share and stand firm on, all come from flawed individuals. All comes from flawed individuals. So when you seek your main relationship, which is your higher power, when you seek that relationship, he's going to get you rooted and grounded in truths that will allow you to stand bold and sure in shaky times. That will allow you to stand bold and sure when situations may become a little confusing. May stand bold and sure that the way that you're doing particular things are right. Is your backup plan to remind you that yes, you are going the right way. You know, that is your first relationship. That relationship will shape how you see yourself. That relationship is going to shape how the type of temperament you keep, or how do you deal with I don't know, like how you deal with hardships, how you deal with death, like how do you deal with pandemics. You know, someone hit me up this morning and had a video for me to watch, and they like, oh, I have my opinions on this and this and that. Really, a really profound dude. He has definitely elevated thinking. He's definitely very insightful. He's in the know. But I also know that where I stand, he wanted me to watch this video and then give my input. And I told him that I won't even click on the link, because at this point, with all the information that's out there, the news is talking one thing, conspiracy theories are speaking another. One channel news is telling one thing, another channel news. It's like I'm at the point where I'm just confused. Am I the only one that's jaded? Are you also jaded with all this information? So for the last 2 weeks or more, I haven't been watching, nor have I been clicking on links to find out people's perspectives and takes on this coronavirus. At this point, I have no clue what to believe regarding that. But what I do know is that I can focus on myself. I have I have a family to care for, to be there for. I have a new business that I'm starting that I need to continue to focus on how to utilize my godly gifts on the inside of me, to use them to build this business. To me, this is his business. This is God's business. I'm just figuring out ways to serve up the things that I know in a way that people can latch onto it and see another perspective and move forward with more confidence. That's what you could see me as, Gunter Man, the confidence builder, because I'm going to talk about so many different aspects of life, love, and living and relationships that you can glean from some of it. Now, you might not be in the place where you feel that you need to change particular things, but isn't it good just to have the information? Because when situations come up, you want to be able to pull from so many different perspectives that you have in mind, so you can say, well, maybe this is the right way to go. This is the right thing to do in this, for instance, because you have gotten the information. You can't stand in a position that you believe you got it all under control.